Hey everyone, it's Kristen. So today we're talking about part 3 of Beauty and the Beast. And okay, I admit that the first 2 issues, it took a little bit for it to get off the ground, but this one is where it gets really good. Okay, so as we last left, Beast and Dazzler had decided to stay with the gladiators because she feels like her powers are out of control, and this is the only place where she can be accepted. And she feels like for some reason they can help her control her powers. I'm not sure why she thinks that, but probably because Flynn Alex has told her that at some point. So we left, and Beast was like, "Fine, stay here if you want. I don't care." Ironically, though, we open on the first page of the 3rd issue, and there is Dazzler and Beast on the beach. Whereas we left him, and Beast was crying in the hotel doorway. And Beast is like, "I wanted to see you again, Dazzler, but like you confuse me. I don't understand what's going on. And he's like, I understand, science, and when I'm exploring biophysics in the lab, but I don't understand anything around when I'm around you. I feel confused and conflicted, and I don't understand this feeling." And she's like, "I used to feel that way, but then I found the theater." And he's like, "You didn't find it. They forced you to go. They practically kidnapped you." And she's like, "No, I wanted to go. Sometimes you just have to, go with the deal that you're given." So, and she's like, "Just don't think about it too much. Just live, just live your life." And he's like, "Okay, let's just relax." And she's like, "Let's relax. We have the whole beach to ourselves. We have the whole day to ourselves. And so they go up from the beach, and they start just, walking among people. And they get all kinds of looks of disgust. And you can hear people talking like, "Don't look, Bobby. It's disgusting." This grandmother telling her grandson. And they're holding hands in public because obviously they know Beast is mutant and most people recognize Dazzler, so they're like, "Wow." And they're like, "Be careful, stay back. They'll kill you." And Beast overhears them and looks at them, basically menacingly, and they're like, "Oh, oops, I didn't think he could understand English." And Dazzler's trying to calm them down, but and he's like, "You're right, Daz, it doesn't matter. What matters is our love. We don't need public approval to love each other. It's not important." And he thinks the looks of horror that, we got. And Dazzler's like, "Yeah, who cares?" And she's like, the disgust on their faces. And she's like, "Well, I guess it's time for me to go back to the theater." And Beast's like, "What do you mean? You can't go back there. Like we're supposed to have the whole day together, and all of a sudden you're going back there already? I don't understand." And Dazzler says, "Did you not see the looks of disgust? People's faces, what they said? The theater is the only place that I can be accepted for who I am. I'm going, not another word." And her hand starts glowing again. So she goes back to the theater, and they're like, "Hey, how about a warm up?" And Hugh says, "She's not ready." And Alex is like, "She's fine. She's ready." So she goes and she warms up with them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Dazzler, you're so amazing. Wow." And she's like, "Oh, this is just what I needed, a release for my powers." And you see this tension between Hugh, who's the boss, and Alex, who thinks he's the boss, which will come into play later. And then the fighters gladiators talked about their scars, and this huge scar. He had the horse face has this huge scar incision, and he's like, yeah, it's a beauty. And the girl shows him one of hers on her leg, and Allison is like, are you kidding me? A beauty? It's a scar. Although some people do think scars are cool. I mean, they're, I think back, maybe scars are more accepted now than back then. I don't know, because I don't have any problem with people having scars. But I guess these are huge, like, knife mark scars and stuff that normal people don't have. But they're fighters, so they're super proud of their stars. Um, so then you see Allison kind of just cutting loose, and you see that she projects an image of Beast, and that makes her sad because she does love him, and she's like, I wonder what you're doing right now. Beast is holed up at the heartbreak, and he's upset. He doesn't know what to do. Again, he still has these feelings for her, but he doesn't want to just leave her at the theater. I mean, because that place, he knows it's no good. The woman who runs the hotel, Kate, says, you must try again, though. Follow what your heart tells you. And so Poltergeist thinks, well, I'm gonna go like help. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I have to stay here. I can't do anything because I'm a danger to everyone around me, including myself. So I'm just gonna stay here, I guess. And so back at the arena, you see that this is the guy, Horns, that killed the guy in the last issue. And they approach him, Alex, and two other fighters, and say, hey, look, what you did is against the rules. We have rules for a reason. Dazzler's right there. And I have a feeling like this whole little show is for her benefit. Alex is saying to Horns, the rules are there for a reason. And if you break them one more time, the rules won't apply to you. Meaning, one of the rules is no killing. And so if you kill again, then basically we'll kill you. So Beast goes to the theater, and you see Dazzler. She's all dressed up as an Indian, interestingly enough. And she has like weapons and everything. And he's like, Dazzler, what, why are you doing this to yourself? And she's like, it's just a show. Here I get to act, and I get to, I feel alive here. People, they love me here. I'm accepted here. And he notices this new scar on her neck, and he's like, where did you get that scar? And she's like, even, a scar has a certain beauty to it. And he's like, are you kidding me? Have they brainwashed you? Because like I said, they make a big deal about scars. Which really, scars are not a big deal. But anyway, I find it interesting, like I said, that she's dressed as an Indian, a Native American, which, she kind of looks like one of the village people. And Beast, he doesn't understand. He's like, please, just come back to me. Just, and she's like, stay with me. We can be accepted here. We can, our love can grow here. And she says, I can't forget the beach. Those people, like, were disgusted by us, hated us, mocked us. I can't forget that. And Beast says, you're blind to this place. They condone murder. I can't believe you're okay with that. I don't want anything to happen to you. And then he basically paints her face and says, if you're going to be like that, fine. I'm leaving. A theme. This theme again, that he's leaving and he's not coming back, but he always comes back. I guess that's part of his, confusion, that he's in love and he doesn't understand it's illogical to be like, fine, I'm leaving you. You stay here. You've made your own choices. And yet, he keeps coming back to try to save her. And he wanders off and he sees a lab, interestingly enough, and he sees a beaker and it's marked Dazzler. And he's like, oh my gosh, what the heck? What have they been doing to you? And again, Poltergeist thinks about Spider-Woman again and says, I miss her. I miss her, and now Daz is gone too, because apparently they bonded. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? And he decides that I'm gonna go save her, because he's heard Beast talk, and he's seen them he saw them when they came to the door to basically kidnap her, even though she went with them willingly. And he's like, I'm gonna go save her. So Link, the guy who street performs, he says, well, I'm gonna come too, I'm gonna help too. And Poltergeist apparently doesn't even know what kind of powers he has, but Link is a telekinetic. And so what Daz doesn't know is that Beast finds out that they've been giving Dazzler a drug that causes her to lose control of her powers. And that's why she can't control her powers all of a sudden. And that's why she thinks that, she's a danger to everyone. And so they find Beast. They, basically tase him. And then Hugo says, feed the Beast. In a few minutes, he'll lose all human control and truly become a beast. So they inject him with something. So the stage is set. You can see there's a scene with flowers, and you see Dazzler in this beautiful dress, and then there's the Beast. Beast. And then it says, inspired by the classic, we are proud to present an enchanting tale, an impossible love story. You see, whenever there's a beauty, there's always a beast. And Dazzler's like, she's super confused. Like, Hank, what are you doing here? Because obviously he's not supposed to be part of the show. And he doesn't talk, he just growls. She's like, what are you saying? Is this some kind of joke? Because, again, she doesn't know what's going on. And she's like, no, it's no trick. I'll have to, buy some time so that I can figure out what to do. So she, throws around some light, dazzles the audience. And she's still trying to talk to him, but he won't talk to her. So she, has to keep dodging him. And she tries to just blind him. Because, again, she doesn't want to hurt him. But she hears the crowd, and they're loving it, and they're calling her name, and they're chanting her name. And she's like, they love me. They give me power. And in return, I owe them a show. So here we see kind of the first time she's used her light powers as lasers in a while. And she uses them to basically hurt Beast. And Beast, from being cut up by the lasers, snaps out of it. And all the crowd is chanting, kill the Beast, which makes me think of in Beauty and the Beast, where they're, braving the door saying, kill the Beast. That's what it made me think of when I read this. And so Beast snaps out of it because, Dazzler has, been using her lasers on him, so it hurt, so it snapped him out. And Dazzler says, I will kill the Beast. And Beast says, Dazzler, remember our love. I've been drugged, you too. They twist you into a person, and into someone you're not. And Dazzler's like, what have I become? And the audience is still saying, kill him, burn him. And Beast is like, they made Flynn, Hugo, they made you lose control. Here you are, a parody of a star, and I'm a mockery of a beast. And Beast is like, our love, Daz, remember. And the audience, of course, is like, boo, because they came here for fight. They came here for for blood. And, you know, he rushes out there and she's like, and he said, "This is the climax of the show. You're blowing it." And Dazzler says, are you seriously telling me to kill him? I'm not going to kill him. You can't force me to kill him. She's like, "Then you're through." And he tells his fighters, "Okay, kill them both." And then Alex comes out and says, "Enough, the show's over." And Hugh says, you can't say this show's over. You're not in charge." And Alex says, "Okay," to the fighters. "Who do you want to lead you? Do you want Hugh or do you want me?" And then it's decided pretty quickly because you see Hugh, and he has been he's dead and has been killed by the fighters. And now Alex is in charge. And you see Doom with his, like I said, I don't understand why his servant stays with him, because he keeps getting slapped and punched and kicked and hit. And he says to Doom, "The transmissions from your son have ceased," you know. And Doom being Doom, he's like, so basically he's like, "We're going after them. We'll be in Hollywood tonight." Which all of a sudden, because it's interesting because the servant sums it up. He says, "Interestingly enough, Doom, who cares for no man, suddenly seems to care about someone very much." Because since the transmissions, because he's been receiving these transmissions from his supposed son, and then all of a sudden they quit coming, now he's all concerned and wants to, go after him. So, like I said, that was the best one because you really got to see, the Beauty and the Beast dynamic, especially since they staged it. So that was really cool. So in our next video is the conclusion of this series, and we finally figure out what's up with Dr. Doom. Because, like I said, he just kind of pops in like for one or two panels in the issues. So we'll see in the next episode. That's the part 4 of this series. So I hope you join me for that. Until next time, bye.